person that's put their hand up is Cameron Boyd, and he's the Greens candidate for Barron in the next election. So I'd like to invite Cameron up, and Cameron will speak briefly just about the infrastructure issues. Like I said, there's going to be potentially 4,500 people on this site. There'll be 8,000 vehicle movements up and down the Range Road each day, and all the other spin-off effects. So thanks, Cameron.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you all very much for turning up. It's great to see such a great crowd here. I first came to Kuranda when I was about 14 years old, and I fell in love with it then. And it really hasn't changed much since then, and we certainly don't want to see it change. One of the things that I want to be clear about is that the Greens aren't anti-development, but I'll tell you what we are against, and that's non-sustainable development. And that's what we're talking about right here. The state significance that Stephen was just talking about is actually based on risk. And I've discussed this with Craig Crawford on a number of times, and I've asked him explicitly what he sees as the risks and why it was actually raised to a state significance. And he keeps pointing me to the documentation and saying, that's the process. But I'm saying, what are the specific risks? What are the specific risks here for Kuranda, for its community, for its ecology? And we already know what the ecological problems are if this development goes ahead. We're talking about damaging lots of breeding grounds for the endangered frogs, the Myola tree frog. We're talking about the Myola palm. I heard just yesterday in the Cairns Post, apparently there's an additional tree frog that's been found in the area that's also at risk. I'm going to be finding out more about that. But he is flatly refused to answer those questions on the specifics, because I suspect that if he did answer those questions on what the specific risks are, it would dig his own hole. Now, in terms of the infrastructure for this development, Steve was just talking about how large this development actually is, and I'd just like to take a minute to ask you all, how is the traffic on the Range Road going? Yeah? How is it going to be with an extra 4,500 cars potentially every day going up and down that Range Road? Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant. And there's, I should point out, all of this infrastructure we will be paying for.
No way!
Now the water and the sewage, how are they going to connect that and argue that it's not going to impact the water and the sewage of the people that already live here? The other one is the power. All right, now I understand that the Mariba substations cannot handle the connections from Mariba into this sort of development, and what they would probably need to do is run all of the cables up from Smithfield to do this. Additionally, this is another cost that's going to be incurred on the taxpayer, right? And we don't want that. So in essence, we need sustainable development, right? Not something that's going to destroy the environment that we all love and we all come here to enjoy. So I just want to say thank you very much for coming up here and making your voices heard. Thanks.